Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to another series of mini-sodes. This week and next week, we're going to be discussing DNR's hiring, interviewing, and recruitment processes. So if these are things that interest you, stay tuned because we have some really interesting segments from our guests this week, this month. So yeah, stay tuned, enjoy, and let us know what you guys think about these mini-sodes. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Around the Water Cooler with NeDNR. Today it's me, Dehvynne,
and Alexa, hello.
And today we have a couple special guests. We have Jill Richters and Bob Robles. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves and talk a little bit about what you do for our agency before we hop in?
I'm Jill Richters, and I work with HR Payroll with the agency and also a couple other programs. And I've been around for almost 40 years.
We're so glad to have you, Jill.
Oh, thank you very much. Everybody's glad to see me on payday.
So my name is Bob Robles. I'm the Deputy Director for the Department of Natural Resources. I oversee the operations area of the agency, so that's HR, finance, IT, oddly enough, the floodplain and dam safety.
We're happy to have you, too.
And I'm also happy that we have Jill. I'm very happy her during payroll week.
Yes, I also enjoy getting paid. What about you, Alexa?
I love getting paid.
Speaking about getting paid in HR, today our episode is about our HR department. And more specifically, we're going to be talking about the hiring process and the recruiting process. So let's just hop right into it.
All right.
Speaking of recruiting, where specifically do we look for new candidates?
Well, we've been going to career fairs quite a bit lately, but we also post on social media.
Yep. And I actively troll for folks on LinkedIn. So
Troll.
I will do a little headhunting out there, trying to find candidates who are also looking for work, kind of contact them and, see where they're at, see if they're happy. And if they're not, I'll try to
Steal them.
move them over.
Yep.
Awesome. So it sounds like if somebody's looking for a job with us, they can go to our social media and find those links. But where specifically would you say they should send their applications? Like what platforms do you recommend? And for the state, how should they go about that?
Well, I think that depends on what they're looking for. If they're looking for like an internship or like a temporary position, which is also known as SOS, they could email those applications directly to us, to either Jill or myself, so that we can review them and go over it with the various divisions to see where they might be a good fit. If they're looking for an actual full-time position, they would go to the...
They go to the Nebraska Career Center homepage.
They can Google search Nebraska State Jobs,
Yes.
and it'll take you to the Nebraska State Jobs website.
The website is StateJobs.Nebraska.gov.
Filter by the Department of Natural Resources specifically because we are the best.
We are.
So, and that's really interesting. When you go to the Nebraska State Jobs website, there's that SOS application that you can fill out. But if you want to work specifically for us, what you're saying is they can just find you guys on our website, find your email, and send you a direct message with their application.
So they can send those directly to me if they want. My email address is bob.robles, R-O-B-L-E-S, @Nebraska.gov.
And mine is Jill.Richters, RICHTERS, .Nebraska.gov.
You mentioned career fairs. So what career fairs will you see us at this year?
All of them. There's
Sioux
UNL,
Falls,
Yeah.
UNL,
UNL.
Creighton.
Creighton's coming up.
maybe Iowa State.
That's further off,
No.
like looking into the fall. So if you're looking into that area, then yes, we're going to Iowa State.
Yeah, I guess it's something we should say is that we go to career fairs in the spring and in the fall. So if you miss the opportunity to talk to us in the spring, come to a career fair in the fall.
And we are always available if you want to just contact us directly.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Jill is so nice. She wants everyone to call her work number directly. I'm just kidding.
I'll do what I can to help.
When we go to these career fairs, what do you think we typically look for in a candidate?
I think that, like for me, first thing that I look for is passion. I want them to be passionate about what they do. I want them to have the will and desire to want to just jump right in and just, get at it and, right?
You know that saying, if you love your job, you never work a day in your life? You got to have passion for it.
And I see that a lot here. So I see a lot of that here in our agency, to where everyone has this passion for Nebraska's water, right? They want to protect that resource. They want to manage that resource and maximize it for everyone's use, right? The best use possible. And I see that, and I see, everyone, how happy they are, right? You don't see that in a lot of the places. I know that I came, from a different government, I'm not going to say, but I came from another government entity, and, they're not so happy, right? They're not, joyful, and they're not looking forward to being there. And now what you see here every day is people are happy to be here. They're happy to engage, and they're happy to do what they do. And there's a lot of truth to that. If you're happy what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah, and that's true. If you were happy with your job and you went into the office and everybody else was like not happy, it would just be soul sucking. So it's good to surround yourself with people that are passionate too. And that is literally what we have here at DNR.
So, Jill, what do you look for?
Obviously the same thing. To come work for our agency, it's a wonderful agency. I've been around for a long time. And, I like people to just come up to me, talk about what they're interested in, and look at me straight in the eye, which I know is hard, but, I just love talking about our agency. We've got a good agency.
We've got a really good team.
Yeah, we do.
Not to brag or anything, but hair flip.
Yeah, if you're looking for a job. And as far as career fairs go, do you guys have any tips, tricks, advice beyond that?
I have lots.
Oh my gosh.
So, first thing I would do is, if you're looking to go to a career fair, I would look at who's going to be at the career fair, right? You want to develop some kind of a game plan going into it. You want to make sure that you're identifying those particular organizations that interest you, right? Or are aligned with your interest, right? So this way you can go in and go, hey, I'm interested in robotics, so I'm going to look for robotics companies. I'm going to look for those, techie companies that might align with what I'm looking for, and kind of arrange those. So when you go into it, you have kind of a path worked out going through there. So you're not just aimlessly walking around and then you're going to waste your time. You're going to waste a lot of people's time doing that.
Like you're at a farmer's market, just hanging out.
That's very true, right? You don't want to sit there and waste your time looking at the zucchini when all the time you just want carrots, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, that's a really good one.
I love that analogy.
What he said.
Another thing, what they should do, once they've identified those, is develop some questions, right? Like, be hard about these questions too, like really think about them. I like the ones I usually get a lot of now, it's really interesting, is that, what's your culture like? That's what I've seen a lot that they ask me right away. It's like, so what's the culture like?
Yeah, that's a big one.
It is. And going back to the desire and the passion of, am I really going to fit in here if I'm a go-getter, but yet the environment is more of a laid-back, take our time thing. So.
We hope you've enjoyed listening to part 1 of our HR Minisode series, where we talked about recruitment at DNR. So if you're interested in learning more about what we expect to find on a resume, stay tuned for next week's Minisode part 2.